All right, so I am doing a Pixel 9 Pro XL review, and I want to talk to you guys about my experience with this flagship phone from Google. And there's a lot to talk about, so let's get right into it. The Pixel 9 Pro XL has really main categories that I really want to talk about. First is the design, the software, battery performance, and also the performance of the actual chip. And lastly is the AI capabilities. So let's dive into what exactly I like about the design, and then we move on from there. All right, so as you guys know, the Pixel 9 Pro XL has a brand new full design, and you have to give it credit to Google for always innovating with the design, but also keeping a similar look every year. So you know it's the newest phone, but actually still has some identity with the Pixel lineup. So I do have to appreciate the fact that Google knows how to actually design their phones and make them feel fresh and new every year. I like the fact that it's rounded in the corners and on the sides. It does feel a lot like an iPhone, but it's a welcome change. I feel like if you're going to copy something from other phones, at least copy the good things, and it looks like they did it pretty well. Probably did it a lot better than the iPhone. It's more rounded and more soft in the corners, so it doesn't really hurt when you're holding the phone in your hand. And it has a nice seam, and the bezels are equal all around. There's really no complaints when it comes to the look and the design of the phone. I mean, it looks very, very nice. The camera bump, like I mentioned earlier, still has the same similarities as the old phones, but it's completely new and has a completely different look. So if you're looking at the camera bump, you can tell that this is the newest phone. The only thing that triggers my OCD is that the black part is on this side and the rest is metal. I would have liked to see a full black island on the back, but it's so seamless. It's very centered down in the middle, and it prevents wobbles on the phone. So if you're putting your phone on the back, laying down, and you're using your phone that way, it won't wobble. So that's a bonus. But the only thing that I really wish that they would have added with this design is MagSafe. I mean, I think MagSafe would have been a perfect time to add it on this phone. I know you can get cases with it, but I'm going caseless these days, and I would just love to have all my functionality without having to get a case. I would just love to have the MagSafe straight on the phone and wouldn't have to get a case for it. There was a lot of situations where I wish I had MagSafe, because MagSafe have been very useful for me. Ever since 2020 when Apple introduced it, it's been one of the best features that came out of an iPhone in a long time. And I wish that all these other Android phones would copy it, but it looks like we're still waiting for Android phones or other manufacturers to add MagSafe to their phones. I don't know if it's a licensing issue to have magnets in the back of the phone or what, but man, I really want MagSafe on every single phone, and I just really missed it on this one. So now talking about the software, I will be including the camera portion of this segment in the software because the cameras these days are mostly software. But first things first, I want to talk about the UI. So I've been using a few Android phones recently, and the UI has been pretty similar, but Google just does a better job at navigating the software, having Google features right at the software level, not having too many bloated features or bloatware in general. Does a great job at having good widgets and icons and having a great look. I feel like Google has a Midas touch when it comes to Android. Google just knows how to really make the software, and for a few years now, they've been lacking when it comes to the hardware. But it's finally the year where the software can actually match the hardware in actual quality. The software with the Pixel 9 Pro XL is amazing. But there's one thing that I'm just not a fan of when it comes to Android in general, no matter how well they refine it. And that's the control center. I don't like the way that you have to swipe down with the control center twice to really get the full control center, or your screen is going to be completely covered with the notifications when you're looking for your control center. If I'm not mistaken, I think on Samsung they changed it with the new One UI. You can swipe down on the right side and get control center, and the left side with the notifications. I didn't find a setting inside the settings to change that for the Pixel 9 Pro XL, but that's just one pet peeve of mine, that I don't have the full control center right at my fingertips once I swipe down. It looks like you have to do 2 steps to get the full control center. But yeah, that's just a small pet peeve when it comes to the software. All right, so now when it comes to taking pictures with the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So taking pictures with the Pixel 9 Pro is very easy. You have two options when you go in the camera app. You have the photo section and the video section, which actually makes it very easy to separate the different camera features. But when you're actually taking photos, the picture looks amazing. The only thing is that the picture looks too artificial. So for example, if you're taking a picture of the sky during the day, I mentioned this in my Pixel 8 Pro review, the picture is going to look very, very beautiful. It's going to look like one of the best pictures you have ever taken on a phone. But is it reality? Not necessarily. It does look like it's trying to change or enhance the image. When you're taking nighttime photos, for example, I took a nighttime photo with the iPhone and a nighttime photo with the Pixel 9 Pro XL. And if you're looking at the two images, you can tell that the sky is not that blue at night. So the Pixel is really trying to make it look better, but not make it look realistic. And again, Google has been known to do this. They're trying to make the picture look as best as possible. And I don't have an issue with that actually. Most people really want to see the best looking picture. But sometimes it can give you a result that's just not the best. For example, people like to have punchier colors with their images. But when I try to take a nighttime photo of my car at night, it just looked like the picture has been drowned in bleach. I mean, everything is oversaturated and too bright. It's a nighttime photo. It's okay if you have some darkness into the photo. Keep some vibrancy with the colors. But during the day, it does a very good job at that. It really brightens up the picture, gives a lot of color inside the images, and that's what you want to see. So it can be hit or miss. And it seems that this story has been the same for the past couple of years now, because I'm saying the same thing I've said in my Pixel 8 Pro review. But yeah, the images are very, very nice. If you're comparing these images with the iPhone and the Pixel, both of them are very good. It really depends on what you're looking for. But the Pixel 9 Pro XL with the software, with the algorithms that it has with the camera app, it's very amazing. I would say that it is one of the best photo apps, or camera apps, I should say, that I've used in a long time. And I don't really have any complaints when it comes to the daytime photos. Nighttime photos do need a little bit more work, because if you're trying to make the image look better, try and make it look better. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the photos and the camera app on the Pixel 9 Pro XL. Same Pixel camera, give you beautiful photos, but does it give you realistic photos? Not necessarily. All right, so now we move on to the Pixel 9 Pro XL battery and chip performance. So the Pixel 9 Pro XL has the new Tensor G4 chip. The Tensor G4 chip has been performing very well. A lot of the tasks that would maybe be a little bit slower when it comes to AI or photo editing in the Pixel 8 Pro is a little bit quicker with the Pixel 9 Pro XL. So I do feel like the performance is really geared towards the AI features. I mean, you will have to wait a few seconds for the AI. Some things that are maybe more complex and complicated will take a little bit longer to produce, but you will get the results quicker than you would have gotten with the previous phones. So the performance looks like it's really aiming towards the AI capabilities. And there's a lot of AI capabilities with this phone. So the performance on the chip is actually a welcome change. I see a lot of people online talking about how the battery performance with the Pixel 9 Pro XL or the Pixel 9 Pro has been amazing for them. I mean, it's been good, it's been decent, but it just feels like it's caught up or right under the last iPhone and the last Samsung S24 Ultra. If you're a Pixel owner for the past few years, then you will see a significant increase in battery life, and I do welcome that increase. All right, so last but not least, it's time to talk about the AI. And I want to talk about the Pixel Studio first. So in my day in the life, I did mention that the Pixel Studio was not really good. You have to keep in mind, in my day in the life, I had the phone for maybe a day or two, and I did my day in the life right after that. But after using the Pixel Studio more and more, I come to realize the Pixel Studio is only as good as you make it to be. So if you're good at prompting AI, then you're going to get very good results. If you're not good at prompting AI and use it like a Google search, then you're not going to get the best results when it comes to your images. For example, I typed in show me a Krabby Patty on the Pixel Studio and it showed me a cartoony image. But then when I gave it a little bit more context and more detail, it gave me a better looking image. And that's what I'm looking for when it comes to the Pixel Studio. There are some images that you can get that's more realistic. You can change the style and it has a lot of different styles. So yeah, as long as you're good at prompting AI, then you're going to have good results. You're going to have to practice on what words to use, how to describe certain things that you want to make sure that the AI is able to produce those things. So you're going to be better and better, and you're going to get better images depending on how good you are at asking Gemini for those. All right, so next I want to talk about is Gemini Live. Again, another thing that really had issue with my day in life. Actually, I don't want to talk about Gemini Live specifically, just Gemini in general. So Gemini is decent. I mean, it's okay, but ChatGPT just does a lot more. So for example, we have different GPTs that you can have that tailored made for specific situations. But not only that, you can just do a little bit more with ChatGPT, as in you can paste an image into ChatGPT, look at what you're seeing, give them a screenshot of what you see, show them an image of the outside, and it can actually give you results or questions or answers to questions that you have in a real world from images that you sent or a screenshot that you sent or whatever. But Gemini doesn't really do that yet. I mean, you can ask it questions, you can give it a description of what you're seeing, but if you cannot just simply insert images or insert a screenshot or whatever into Gemini, which to me just defeats one of the biggest points of having an assistant, an AI assistant. But the other thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Gemini is that it doesn't really use the internal of the phone. For example, same thing I had an issue with Copilot on the Microsoft laptop. You cannot ask it to do something on the phone. So I asked Gemini to change a certain setting on the Pixel 9 Pro XL, and it didn't even know I was using a Pixel 9 Pro XL. It was giving me instructions for an iPhone. And I didn't know why he did that. I mean, if you're having Gemini on your phone built in as a default option, why not know that I'm using a Pixel 9 Pro XL? If I'm asking setting questions for a phone or for my phone specifically, you should know what phone I'm using. You should know what type of setting. You should at least be able to do those things for me. For example, if I ask you, can you change my wallpaper to the last image or last photo I took in my camera roll? They should be able to just do it for you. The fact that, first of all, it doesn't even know what phone you're using, to me, it just misses the mark. I feel like having these AI built into your phones should do more than just general questions and be a little bit more creative with their answers. And my favorite feature of the Pixel 9 Pro XL is the Magic Editor. One of the best and underrated. I know saying AI features being underrated is crazy, but the Magic Editor is underrated. You can transform your images so easily. Like literally, it takes me probably less than 2 minutes to change my image that I've just taken. So I'll show you guys right here an image that I took. It took me less than 2 minutes to completely transform that image. It's very easy, and being able to have Photoshop at the palm of your hands be done so quickly should be considered magic. I mean, at this point, it's the best editor that I've seen, better than anyone that I've used, and it does it so quickly. Now with the Tensor G4 chip, being able to have that on the phone and have the Magic Editor is almost a cheat code. It's only going to get better from here. So the Magic Editor is my feature of the Pixel Pro XL. Once people figure out that they can transform their images so easily and have it look very realistic, everyone's going to be doing it. And the Pixel 9 Pro XL seems to be the best at it right now. Not only the best, but the more accessible way to do it. It literally takes you a few seconds and you can transform your whole image. So yes, the Pixel 9 Pro XL Magic Editor is my favorite feature. I love it. I suggest try it out if you're at Best Buy, if you're at a Google store, or if you have the Pixel 9 Pro XL and haven't used the feature yet. Just take a random image and change whatever you want to change and look at the results. Because not only can you transform your image, it's actually very, very good just to enhance your image. So yes, Magic Editor is my favorite feature. So yeah, that is my review of the Pixel 9 Pro XL. I 100% recommend it. I think this is the default Android phone to get right now. The ecosystem is there. The actual design is up to par. The chip performance is up to par. The AI is best class, except if you're comparing to ChatGPT, but you still have access to ChatGPT on this phone. So you have all you need on this phone right here. If you're looking for an Android phone, this is the best one to get right now. I would say it's actually even better than the S24 Ultra that I reviewed a few months ago. So yeah, the Samsung S24 Ultra, the Pixel 9 Pro XL is actually pretty amazing. All right, so don't forget to like and subscribe if you actually enjoyed my video. Don't forget to watch my day in the life with the Pixel 9 Pro XL as I show you guys my day with this phone, and leave a comment what I should review next. The iPhones are coming out very soon, so obviously I will have to review those, but if there's any tech product that you want me to review, leave it in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and see you guys on the next video. Peace.